Alright, salutations YouTube, what's up? Just checking in, another week. Unfortunately today, no updates. Well, I'll update you on the Rat Rod Radio Flower Wagon, but I'm not working on that today because ran into a little bit of a snag on just everything in general. The magnetron or armature that the guy sold me there a couple weeks ago, I guess that was just last week, turns out I don't think it was the right part. As I look at it, I think it's for a bigger motor, one with a bigger flywheel, because you sort of compare how it sits next to the magnet on the flywheel compared to the old one. Tight gaps on the ends, but as you go in, bigger gap in the middle. So maybe it's for a smaller flywheel. I don't know. Bad news is, guys sold me the wrong part. Now I got to figure out how to get rid of that. And you remember how much that was? Like 46 bucks. Hopefully I could sell it on eBay, I'm guessing now, because the guy said, you know, once you install the electronics, they don't take them back. So that kind of stinks. So I might not have as rave reviews about the old hardware store as I did a week ago. But nonetheless, the other thing is I got it all put back together, and there was some spark at some point, spark not. I still thought, well, maybe I can just get it to fire up. It might not run well. Well, when I pulled on the string, a lot less compression. I actually sort of made that comment last week, but I edited that out of the video because I didn't want to look like an idiot if it wasn't the case. But totally lost some compression along the way. Not sure what it is. I'm suspecting the valves right now. So bought a valve lapping tool on eBay, $7 or $8. It's supposed to come in the mail here this week, so I'll give that a shot. But I've also started just looking for new motors on Craigslist. You know, this thing was a 2-horse to begin with. I just thought if I could cheaply get it running, you know, that'd make this a cheap go-kart project. But what I'm wanting to avoid is I don't want to sink upwards of $80 into a motor that's not going to be that fast. When if I'm going to spend that money, just as well I'd bought something off Craigslist, you know. So I've been in contact with a couple sellers. Neither of them really contacted me back. I had to go the phone route on one, and the guy he just lives too far away. So I'm going to continue to look at that, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to probably still try to get this thing running anyway, as the learning experience that it is, but we'll see. So nothing other than that on the Rat Rod Radio Flyer. So I thought I'd take the opportunity today and show you a little bit of what I got going on the Dana 30 project. Dana 30 front axle out of a 92 XJ. So those of you up with your Jeep nomenclature, XJs are Jeep Cherokees. It's a high pinion front axle, so I got that going for me. It's not one of those vacuum disconnect axles, so it's got the solid passenger side axle shaft, so it makes it a little stronger. I did upgrade the axle shafts to I don't remember what the number is, I think 276 U-joints. Stock it was the 260 ones, so ditched that. But anyway, give me a second. I'm going to adjust the camera here, and it looks like on my tablet I got a little update screen, so it's blocking what I can see. So give me just 1 second. Probably end up editing some of this out. But I'm going to show you what all I got going on that project and kind of where it sits, and we'll kind of talk through that some. Alright, so here we are. Here's where I'm at on the Dana 30 project, and let's just go ahead and scoot a little closer here. Alright, we'll start with the axle itself. Like I said, it's out of 92 XJ. What we've done is we've put 456 gears in the front, G2 brand. As you can see, I've trussed the axle tube. These axles are notorious for bending axle tubes, so that's why I went ahead and trussed it. It's basically just pipe, probably 1 3/4 pipe here. 1/4 steel plate in the middle. So I think that turned out pretty good. Pretty proud of the axle tab here. I basically cut around it, left it the stock one in place, cut around it until I got the truss in, and then I started cutting away. Then I welded it to the truss and cut away the rest of the bracket. So then I boxed it in on the top here. Turned out really well, I think. I'm having the darndest time finding the bushings for the axle tube to press in. So if any of you guys out there watching this can tell me where to find these, gladly appreciate it. As you can see, I've built a little trolley here that my wife has hit with the car once, so it's kind of coming loose here. But you know, in the garage gang, you gotta get creative with how you store things. So as the more and more added weight to this thing, it's getting harder and harder to store it back behind me here underneath this shelving. So it's getting harder and harder to pull out. I had it on my jack stands for the longest time. But anyway, like I said, got the bigger U joints here on the axles, and went with the WJ knuckle swap, which is going to allow me to do crossover steering. And you know, if you've been watching my videos, you know, I got a tie rod off eBay, and shoot, might as well open that up for you guys. I gotta go grab my box cutter real quick. Alright, looks like we got our, I'm guessing, tie rod ends here. There you are, tie rod end. Whoa, extreme close-up. And I'm guessing the tie rod bars in here. I'm guessing it's just going to be a bar, so I don't think we need to open that. But yeah, it didn't go with the, there's an option on these where you can do drilled inserts. You drill out the top of the knuckle here, puts an insert in, and you can flip tie rod ends so that they're on the top as opposed to the bottom, which is stock, which is what this is. And then do like 1-ton tie rod ends and stuff. But this project's just getting to the point where I spend too much money on it, and kind of like the 2 horsepower motor, is it a polished turd now at this point? So I kind of was like, yeah, you know what, let's just go with the stockers. So anyway, but crossover steering is going to be awesome, especially XJ is notorious for the death wobble. And funny thing is, I didn't mean to POR 15 this thing this early, which looks like we got some peelage here. But I was just trying to paint a couple areas after I'd welded it. Then I accidentally knocked over the can on my drop cloth, so I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to use that today. So I wound up almost getting the whole axle painted, but might as well spin it around. All right, I bought heavy duty brackets here to weld on because the previous owner, I got the axle for free, but had torched off the axle tab connectors because they were doing a Dana 44 in their XJ. So I went ahead and kind of bought some expensive, at the moment, Artec Industries, that's where I got these. Pretty excited about how that turned out. They're a good product. I was just worried, you know, I could have done individual sides, but then I was worried about getting those lined up on a circular axle tube, you know, just perfectly, whereas these guys are kind of one unit, and they kind of bottom themselves out into position. So I like that. But over here on the WJ knuckles, we have the JKS spacer, and went ahead and machined, let's say they're 01 XJ hub unit hubs. Maybe they're TJs. I don't remember exactly, but machined a little bit off the outside diameter of them so we could run 12-inch Explorer sport track rotors. Advantage there, you get a 12-inch rotor that has the 5-on 4.5-inch bolt pattern, which is, of course, what you have in your XJs as well as your Ford Rangers, which is what I'm going to swap this into. So, but the other reason I went with this whole package, you know, obviously the free axle, right? But lots of people have done Dana 30 swaps on Ford Rangers. Didn't have to do anything custom for the coil buckets. Same friend I got the axle from, that same XJ had a rough country 4.5-inch suspension lift. So free springs here. Free lower control arms that I think I'm going to probably section. I'm probably going to cut right down the middle. And then it feels hollow, but we'll see when we cut into it. But then probably find some solid stock to extend these things. And then I'll probably sleeve it somehow. So I have about a 21-inch eyelet to eyelet control arm, but I'm really holding off on that until I actually get almost the axle in place and stuff to see how it's all gonna mesh up with the Ranger chassis. So there's that. Other advantage to the WJ knuckle swap Akebono brake calipers from Jeep Grand Cherokees. If you guys have any suggestions out there how to unseize plungers, or should I turn these things back in for a core and just buy new ones? You know, that's what I'm struggling with right now. But I don't know if you can see, I've got the EBC yellow stuff brakes in, and then here we go. Long story on these, won't go into it, but I've got a set of 4 ion alloy 16x8s that I'm pretty excited about. Kind of a poser bead block, but I think they're pretty sharp looking. Black wheel, chrome lip. So there are these bad boys. Again, 5 on 4.5 bolt pattern, and I want to say it's a -4 back spacing. It's been a while since I bought these, but so there's that. And shoot, I think that about wraps it up. Hopefully you guys' brackets are going much better than mine. I had Villanova as my national champion, so that's not working anymore. But I record this on the heels of the Kansas Jayhawks losing to the Wichita State Shockers. I'm not going to say go Shockers because that's, you can see I'm a K-Stater, so I wasn't necessarily rooting for Wichita State, just rooting against KU. I know Greg and Greg's Garage probably cringing right now, but guess that's life and that's sports. The only other thing maybe I'll wrap up with is one of the lessons learned I had on welding these heavy-duty link tabs to the axle shaft was I should have put my control arms in there as I was welding them. We all know when you weld, metal tends to shrink, you know, as right at the bead it will pull in, and so you can't put the control arm in here at the moment. But I have a solution for that, how to fix it. I'll probably do a video on that, show you guys my solution to how do you get it back out. We'll see if it works. It's an adaptation from something I've seen elsewhere. But hey, I think that's going to do it for this week. Hopefully next week we have some better news to report on the Briggs & Stratton. I'll figure out how to do a valve job. It looks easy. We'll see if I can pull it off. Oh, one last thing before we sign off. The Ranger behind me, there she be. 2-wheel drive. Was hoping to do a 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive conversion, and over on the shelf here where I store all those parts, we've got I don't know if you can see, but Borg Warner 1350 manual shift transfer case back there, as well as a new tail shaft housing and tail shaft to convert my transmission to 4x4. But I think what I'm actually going to do is my wife's allowed me to take, fortunate enough to get quarterly bonuses. Now, obviously nothing's guaranteed there, but if they keep up, I'm putting all that money in savings, and I think I'm just going to buy a new already 4x4 Ford Ranger. So hopefully this guy gets me maybe till September, and then I can do the solid front axle swap in the meantime, and then unload this thing after that. You might ask me, what am I going to do with the transfer case and stuff then? Well, I might just keep it around, maybe do a doubler or something on down the road. I don't know how much trail riding I'll do with it, but totally want a solid front axle Ford Ranger. I think it'd be really cool. But till next time, peace out.